Here is a full, long, emotional story written in plain paragraphs, perfect for a 40-minute YouTube narration, starting with a gripping hook, written to keep viewers engaged, emotional, and motivated to like and subscribe at the end. Hook begins with immediate emotional pull. If you had stepped onto the ferry deck that evening, you would have seen a little girl in a wheelchair staring at the sky as if she was trying to hold back tears, while a man in a tailored suit stopped mid-stride, shaken by the question she asked. And if you stay with me till the end, you'll understand why that question changed not only her life, but his too. And trust me, what happens on that ferry will stay with you long after this video ends. So let's begin. The wind carried the salty breath of the sea across the ferry deck, brushing gently through the scattered passengers. The sun was dipping toward the horizon, painting streaks of gold and pink across the sky. People were taking photos, laughing, pointing at the glowing skyline. But one girl, no older than 9, sat alone near the railing, her wheelchair facing forward but her eyes fixed upward with a longing far too heavy for someone her age. Her name was Aisha. Her mother was inside the ferry trying to calm her motion sickness, leaving Aisha with a blanket tucked around her legs and a little backpack by her side. She looked tiny compared to the world around her, tiny, and heartbreakingly hopeful. Just a few steps away stood a man who usually moved through life like a storm, powerful, unreachable, constantly busy. Imran Malik, CEO of a tech empire, one of the most feared negotiators in the business world. But here, on the ferry, away from glass towers and boardrooms, he looked tired. Exhausted. As if he was carrying burdens he didn't know how to put down. He leaned against the railing, trying to lose himself in the sunset, when he heard a soft voice behind him. "Sir, can you lift me up to see the sky?" He turned. The girl's eyes were wide, not desperate, not demanding, just full of a gentle, trembling hope that squeezed something deep inside his chest. He blinked. "Me." She nodded. "Everyone is taller here, even the railing is taller." She pointed up. "I can see the colors, but not the sky. Not the whole sky." Her voice cracked. "I just want to see it, like other kids do." Imran felt his throat tighten. He didn't know this child. He didn't know her story. But something about her request disarmed him in a way nothing else had in years. He crouched down, meeting her at eye level. "Is it okay if I lift you?" "Your mom." She said not to trouble people, Aisha whispered, "but I thought, maybe you look kind." He froze at that word. Kind. People rarely used that about him anymore. Without another word, he gently slid his arms under her and lifted her up. She gasped, a sound so pure and filled with wonder that it cracked open a place inside him he didn't know was still breakable. Her small hands clutched his shoulders as he held her securely. And then she looked up. Her whole face changed. Her eyes lit like someone had placed a piece of the sun inside them. "So big," she whispered. So big." He felt her joy hit him like a tidal wave. He stood there holding her, the ferry rocking softly beneath them, the sea humming with life. A few nearby passengers paused, smiling warmly at the sight. A little girl lifted to the sky by a stranger who looked like he'd forgotten why he ever stopped smiling. "How long have you wanted to see it like this?" Imran asked softly. "A long time," she said. "But my wheelchair doesn't go high. And I can't stand. And sometimes people hurry, and I don't want to stop them." She hesitated. "But, you stopped." He swallowed hard. "I'm glad I did." She studied the sky, mesmerized, while he studied her, this fragile, brave girl who didn't even know she was healing a wound inside him. After several moments she whispered, "Sir, do you ever feel small?" He almost laughed before realizing she was serious. "Every day," he admitted quietly. "Especially when I look at something as big as this." She smiled gently. "Then maybe, we're all the same when we look at the sky." That sentence hit him deeper than any motivational speech he had ever heard. By the time he carefully lowered her back into her wheelchair, something in him had shifted permanently. A thin woman hurried over, clearly Aisha's mother, apologizing breathlessly. "I'm so sorry, sir. She didn't bother you, did she?" Imran shook his head. "Not at all. She made my day better." Aisha beamed proudly. Her mother, Maryam, looked tired, beyond tired. The kind of tired that comes from years of carrying life alone. Her clothes were simple, her hands worn, her eyes hiding storms she never let escape. Imran noticed the rusted brakes on Aisha's wheelchair, the loose screws, the strain in Maryam's voice each time she spoke. They chatted politely, and Imran learned the truth. Aisha had been paralyzed after a car accident years ago. Maryam worked 2 jobs to pay for therapies. They were on the ferry because they couldn't afford an airplane to visit a relative. But through it all, Aisha smiled. The ferry neared the dock, and the crowd began moving. Imran hesitated, not wanting the moment to end. As Maryam started to push the wheelchair, Aisha called out, "Sir, will I see you again?" He wanted to say yes. He wanted to tell her he'd make sure of it. But CEOs don't promise things easily. Instead he knelt beside her. "Do you know what I learned today?" She shook her head. "That even when life keeps you low, you can still find a way to touch the sky." Aisha's eyes sparkled. "You helped me touch it. And you," he said, voice thick, "helped me see it." When they parted, Imran couldn't shake the feeling that he couldn't just leave things as they were. He had built companies. He had changed industries. Surely he could change one little girl's life.